So how do you pay off optometry school debt as quickly as possible? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you proven strategies on how to pay off optometry school debt, including a few things you should avoid along the way. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ryan Corte, and this is Ryan Reflects. On this channel, I share with you actionable personal development content, as well as my thoughts on trending topics and common life experiences. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, throughout any point in the video, make sure you check out the notes and links in the description below. In 2019, optometry students reported an average amount of optometry student loan debt of $173,000. And I gotta be honest, I know a ton of optometrists that have optometry school debt north of $200,000. And this doesn't even include the interest that accrues over time. Therefore, it's really in your best interest to pay off your student loans as quickly as possible. And here is how I recommend doing so. First things first, get on a budget and live like a student after graduation. And listen, if you're an optometry student, you're just finishing up school, you're in your third or fourth year, maybe you're a new graduate, this is the last thing you want to hear, right? You have been very strict with your finances throughout school, and you're like, man, I'm going to get my first professional paycheck. I want to live a little bit. I want to splurge a little bit. I highly, highly recommend you kind of temper your expectations doing so, because if you're able to live like a student and you're able to budget accordingly, I personally use mint.com. The app is fantastic, syncs with all my bank accounts, all my loans. You'll see that you're able to pay off your student loans much quicker than if you didn't. And of course, I'm not saying don't treat yourself, right? You should definitely make sure that you find a way to just treat yourself, but don't go overboard and don't make it a habit, because doing so is just a bad way to approach your student loan debt and how you're going to tackle it over time. Another thing to consider is that your first job after graduation most likely won't be your last. So look at opportunities that maybe have bonuses or have payment options towards your student loans, or maybe ones that have a higher salary and bonus potential than the ones that don't. And listen, I get it. Some of these opportunities that you may be looking at, they maybe don't pay as well. Maybe they have the opportunity for you to buy into a practice down the road, but the actual income potential is significantly lower than some of the corporate opportunities or opportunities where there is student loan forgiveness that are available. But keep in mind, it's great to get different experience across various practice modalities, find what works for you, and maximize your income potential up front so you can pay down your student loan debt over time before settling in the actual practice modality you may want to practice for the rest of your career. And as you get raises or bonuses, or you just see your income growing over time, keep a baseline measure of, hey, here's where my income was when I graduated. Everything on top of that is going to go straight towards your loans. You are going to make a fantastic dent into those student loans. And over time, you're going to pay them off faster than ever by doing so. So learn to live on your initial salary and apply everything else towards your student loans. And on top of that, any other income that you bring in, let's just say that you're filling in for other practices, that's a great way to bring in extra income. And you should actually even see different practice modalities different than what your current 9 to 5 is. Utilize that income to throw it towards your student loans. Or let's say that you acquire, you have a great skill set and you have a side hustle. It could be optometry related or not optometry related. If you're making income through that, apply it towards your student loans. This is a really, really smart way to just knock out your student loans with the extra income you bring in. Okay, so clear to this point, I'm telling you, spend less, make more, and apply the extra towards your student loans. But let's talk about some financial strategies that you can take. So there are a number of student loan repayment plan options. And one thing to consider is if you're going to pay off your student loan debt and you're not in the pay-as-you-earn category, to go ahead and refinance your student loans into a 30-year repayment plan, but pay it off as if it was a 10-year plan. Go ahead and calculate what that would look like. And then let's just say you have certain time periods where you are strapped for cash or you need to go ahead and move funds towards something else in your life. You can pay the 30-year repayment plan minimum to continue moving forward, but it gives you the opportunity to aggressively pay it based on a 10-year plan. And as I referenced before, any extra income can be utilized to pay more than the minimum by making extra payments each month. So, of course, student loan payments have a minimum that you're required to make each month. But if you go ahead and you add money on top of that, you are going to see a massive decrease in the amount that you actually owe quickly over time. Also, when it comes to refinancing, doing so can significantly reduce your interest rate and the amount of money that you're paying out in interest. So caveat here though, if you are looking at any kind of repayment plan that has a pay-as-you-earn or forgiveness option through the US government, the federal government, refinancing disqualifies you from that. So if you're going that route, do not refinance your loans. But otherwise, if you're looking at knocking them out, refinance and you can decrease your interest rate. And something that you can almost even trick yourself into making an extra payment each year is by making bi-weekly payments. If you set up payments every 2 weeks instead of every month, you'll end up making an extra payment each year, again, helping cut down your student loan quicker over time. When it comes to strategies, financial expert Dave Ramsey recommends the debt snowball approach. And what you do is you look at all your loans and you start paying off the smallest size loan first while still making the minimum monthly payment on all the other loans. And as you continue to pay off smaller loans over time, you're gaining momentum, you're getting little wins. And mentally, that is very powerful because as you gain more and more momentum towards paying off your student loans, you're going to find yourself even more motivated to knock out that student loan debt. So a quick disclaimer here, did I follow all these steps right when I came out of optometry school? Unfortunately, I didn't, right? And I wish I did. I wish I had more insight or more foresight to do so, but I can tell you, I came out of optometry school with $160,000 in debt. I was in residency and I started on a pay-as-you-earn student loan repayment plan. And over time, I accrued interest and I realized it wasn't the right repayment plan for me. I had $190,000 of debt after all that interest accrued. And I had a moment where I was like, okay, I got to go ahead and start paying this off. But during that time frame, I bought a car, right? My other car was starting to die down. I probably could have bought a less expensive vehicle. I wasn't utilizing my money towards rent as sufficiently as I could have. And I was spending money in my lifestyle that I could have tightened up on a little bit and helped knock down my student loan debt. Plus, I could have filled in more. I could have probably worked a little bit more and utilized the extra income that I had to knock out my student loan debt. So learn from my mistakes. Take this advice to heart and knock out your student loan debt as soon as possible. My question of the day, what steps are you gonna take to knock out your optometry student loan debt or even professional school student loan debt as soon as possible? Let me know in the comments below and stay tuned for my next video where we can reflect and grow stronger together.